Hello everyone, I'm Nizzahon here for the Aether Hub. We've been doing a bunch of Aether Revolt drafts lately, but right now in Magic Online, Modern Masters 2017 is available, and I wanted to record one draft for you guys in that format. I also recorded a draft in the format over on my own channel, so you can check that out as well. But let's go ahead and jump in the queue here and see what happens. Okay, well, Abrupt Decay is probably worth a ton of money, so I don't know if I can really pass it. Let's see. They usually drop because of Modern Match. Oh, it's not worth as much as I had hoped. $2. Worth thinking about. I mean, it's a solid card in general, but it is gold, so not the chances of being able to play it are not incredibly high. I could take Wall of Denial here, which Sybin has, pontificated about as being like the best card ever. So that's probably what he wants me to take as he's watching this draft video. We have a bunch of, all of our uncommons and rares are gold, which is kind of nuts. And this pack in general is not that exciting. Moroi is good, Vanishing Memory is good, and Wall of Denial are good, as is Abrupt Decay, but they're all gold, and none of them are incredible. I'm probably just going to take Penumbra Spider here. We don't have like a Tri-Land or a Signet even to fall back on. Probably just going to take a Spider. It's a great card. It makes a copy of itself. It's one of the best green commons in this set, and it's what we're going to take. Okay, Goblin Guide. What's happening here? Is that also not worth anything? It's possible. It used to be worth something, and that's a foil Goblin Guide. So let's see. It's not worth that much, just $2. And that's kind of funny because that's probably what Nicole is wishing that I would take out of this pack, just because it's like one of her favorite cards. So this is like definitely an Aether Hub draft. Don't think I'm going to take it either, though. Probably going to take Lingering Souls, as it's a ridiculous card. I know the first card we took is green, but Lingering Souls is very good. We could end up not being able to play the black part of it, or we could end up not playing Penumbra Spider. We're probably going to try to play Lingering Souls, though. Chandra's Outrage is probably the next best card in this pack, though. But we're going to take Lingering Souls here. Goblin Guide, I could have talked about it more, isn't actually that great in a limited format because early 1-mana 2/2 creature quickly gets outmatched in limited, and you can't just follow it up with a bunch more aggressive creatures. Usually, this format does have some aggressive decks. So here we've got Magma Jet. We've also got a Rakdos Signet, which is nice because it can help us splash a couple colors, or and it helps you ramp as well. It's also a Ground Assault, and again that Magma Jet I mentioned. Core Hookmaster is a card I like, but do I like it more than Magma Jet or Rakdos Signet? I don't think that I do. No, I think I'm taking Rakdos Signet here. Signets galore here. Another Spider. So this is a card that can help us splash and just go like 5-color good stuff, which is definitely worth thinking about doing in this format. Just taking all the good cards, taking all the signets, being base green so we can play Sylvan Ranger. This lets you search for a basic land. And I think that might be my plan. Yeah, let's take it. Let's try to go 5-color good stuff here. Okay, well, we do have a Burning Tree Emissary, which is just a good card. We already have 2 2-drops that it can help me play right after playing it. You want a bunch of 2s if you're going to play it, basically. We also have Chandra's Outrage, which is a very good removal spell. No signets here to sort of kind of try to continue our plan. Question is, do I want to sort of just be like a red-green aggro deck of sorts, or should I take the removal? It could still be a red-green aggro deck if I do that. Yeah, I think I'll take the Outrage. Okay, well, there's another Signet. Here's also a Cathari Bomber, which is a card I love. But this Signet... Another Chandra's Outrage or a Signet. I think I'm just going to take a Signet. I really think I want to try to go... I'm not getting a lot of opportunities to draft this format, not as many as I would have wished to have had. So I'm just going to try to do what is the most fun here, which is to just take every Signet, lots of dual lands, and play a bunch of all the most powerful cards that are passed to me, basically. And that's always a lot of fun. And here we have a choice between a couple of Guild Gates. Maybe we take the Boros one, since we've already got Chandra's Outrage and Lingering Souls. The Golgari one lets us pay the other half of Lingering Souls. We could also pick up like an actual spell like Arachnus Web, which isn't a terrible removal spell. But I think I'm going to take the Boros Guildgate here. Take these lands. Okay, well, here we're going to take Thunderous Wrath. It's a good removal spell. I could take another Guildgate, but I'm just going to take the removal spell. Kind of looking like we're red-green mostly, maybe. And 2 good red-green cards did come back to us. We're going to take Death Hood Cobra. Okay, Carnage Gladiator is fine, and I guess what I'll take here. I don't really like the rest of the cards in this pack. Bone Splinters is nice. We would need more ways to make tokens, but Carnage Gladiator is just like an okay card. Maybe it'll make our deck. Maybe it won't. So Slime Molding. It's actually like in our color, our base color, so I guess I'm going to take it. Ooh, I do like getting a late Baloth Cage Trap and a late Slaughterhorn. I think those both mean that green's relatively open. I'm going to take the Cage Trap. Oh, late Burning Tree Emissary might mean we should just shift gears and do an aggro deck, because it is a good card. Strength in numbers, sure. Throw that over here. So, green is super open. I wish I could play this Lingering Souls. And I might be able to off of a splash, but I'd have to be splashing both white and black, potentially. Red also seems fairly open, but green, getting a really late Burning Tree Emissary is nuts. We have Sylvan Ranger to help us splash as well, incidentally. So we'll just have to see what happens in the rest of this pack. But Scalding Tarn, sure, certainly that's worth something, right? I should have gotten in. Didn't get in on these drafts at the ground level, so a lot of these cards have already like lost their initial value. However, I don't think this one has. No, it's worth $13 still, so we'll definitely take it. It also helps us splash if we want to splash blue or something. It's important, you know, if you haven't seen me talk about in other videos, it's important to take cards that are worth considerable value in drafts because it helps you draft even more. And if you draft even more, you're going to get better at drafting. So that's the reason to take it, because it'll makes it so I can afford to draft more, basically. But it'll actually also help us splash. It'll serve a purpose. What we're giving up in this pack is maybe a Burning Tree Emissary or a Ground Assault, which are both things that I would like. Magma Jet is too. But we're going to take the Tarn here. Ooh, Call of the Herd is so good. Avacyn's Pilgrim's nice too, but we're just going to take Call of the Herd. And okay, Thoktar. We could play the Thoktar here. We've already sort of got things in place to splash him without a ton of difficulty. Fists of Ironwood is a pretty solid card. I think I'm going to take this Thoktar. And maybe we're just 3 colors, which also means we can maybe splash Lingering Souls, at least half of Lingering Souls. Another Penumbra Spider. Another Sylvan Ranger to enable those splashes. Pyroclasm's a pretty good sideboard card in this format, but it kills a lot of our creatures too. I'm kind of thinking about taking the Ranger. You know, I was talking about wanting to live the goal of playing as many colors as I could and just playing the sweetest cards that came my way. And I can kind of be playing this red-green deck that seems more responsible and be doing the same thing if I take the Ranger. Like Battle Rattle Shaman's okay, and Penumbra Spider I like a lot, but we're going to take Sylvan Ranger for sure here. Okay, so Magma Jet or Penumbra Spider. We do have like ways of using Populate throughout our deck already. The problem is that white is not our base color. And, I mean, I guess it could become that, though. Let's be... What do we lose? We just lose these two. And suddenly, we've got Baloth Cage Trap, Lingering Souls, Call of the Herd, Penumbra Spider, who all interact quite well with Eye in the Skies. Does mean we lose a lot of our removal. But yeah, let's see if we can populate here. Okay, well, another Chandra's Outrage makes things a little harder to make a decision about. I could take Golgari Guildgate, which would help us play Lingering Souls. You know, we've already got some ways of helping us do it, but that would make it even easier. But Chandra's Outrage is pretty good, so I think we're going to take it. And we may end up just not going white at all. Wow, is Inquisition dropped in price? Or am I going to make some money off of that one too? Well, it's worth $1. But I guess Avacyn's Pilgrim's probably going to be better for my deck. Yeah, it will. It will. So, another Chandra's Outrage. There's also a Slaughterhorn, who's perfectly reasonable. But, like, Chandra's Outrage number 3. Yeah. Okay, we're just splashing white. Probably not playing Eyes in the Skies. Yeah, we're definitely taking Ground Assault. Overburning Tree Emissary, I think it's right. Well, maybe it wasn't. I was just about to say, we don't have a ton of removal, as I'm putting back all of our Chandra's Outrages and our Thunderous Wrath. Probably not going to play Slime Molding. So Guildgate can help with our mana situation. Tattermunge Witch is just a solid card. Pyrewild Shaman is as well. Has to be... No, it doesn't have to be a red creature. I'm going to take the Guildgate. I want to be able to splash white as easily as possible and maybe even do more than splash. We'll take this card that says Populate on it. And we'll take an Ancient Grudge for a sideboard because we run into a bunch of golems. Scorched Rusalka is okay, though certainly better in the black-red deck. And we'll take another Ancient Grudge for a sideboard. I think, well, I guess Seal of Primordium is more flexible. One of each is probably a little better. So this has come together sort of as a Populate deck. Oh, Craterhoof Behemoth. Can I say no to Craterhoof Behemoth? I don't know if I can. He's also worth $2. Oh, man. Not going to be easy to cast, certainly. So that's worth keeping in mind. $2 may not be enough of a reason to take him. Terminate's great, but I don't think we're going to be... I mean, we're going to be splashing black a little bit, but I don't know if I trust us to be splashing it enough to be taking Terminate here. Craterhoof Behemoth. Or Penumbra Spider. Yeah, this pack's just not great for us anyway. So maybe taking the $2 card that might actually make the cut, as opposed to the Penumbra Spider, which will make the cut but isn't worth anything, might be worth it. Yeah, what the heck. Let's take Craterhoof Behemoth. Let's go crazy. Flicker Wisp is very good. Man. Like, so is Harmonize. But this is really making me rethink again whether or not I want red. I think we probably do because we don't have a ton in the way of removal. We're probably not going to be main boarding Strength and Numbers incidentally. But Flicker Wisp is very good. We don't have that many creatures that are great with it, but it's still pretty good. But we should probably just take Harmonize. Yeah, we'll just take Harmonize here. There's Tattermunge Witch and Pyrewild Shaman again. Okay, Dragon Fodder, Magma Jet. These are things that go well with our tokeny sub-theme here. As is Tattermunge Witch. I think I'm going to go with the Fodder, though. Well, yeah. Okay, now we'll take a Magma Jet. Removal. So we're going to splash Lingering Souls, and we're going to occasionally be able to pay for its flashback, but not super often. So that makes me a little sad, but it's still going to be in our deck, and that makes me happy. I guess we take a land here, because I don't really want any of these tricks or slime molding. I'm just going to take a Selesnya Guildgate and make our mana a little bit better. Might of Old Krosa. Okay, Call of the Conclave. Well... Or Death Hood Cobra. I think we take the Call of the Conclave. We're going to turn into a real 3-color deck, I think, instead of just one that's like splashing a 3rd color. I'll take another Magma Jet. Okay, and I think with that in mind, we probably do want an Eyes in the Skies. Oh, why did I not take Intangible Virtue? We probably don't quite have enough tokens to make it good, but that's really the card that I just like completely tunnel visioned there and didn't take it. Bad. Okay, so now we'll take Lone Missionaries. We're not going to play Crater Hoof Behemoth, let's be real. Would be nice. Another Rusalka. Well, I'd have another Seal of Primordium for my sideboard. Okay. So, I think we can get away with Call of the Conclave, Lingering Souls, and Eyes in the Skies being in our deck. Probably both Eyes in the Skies. We'll take a Tattermunge Witch now. And Woolly Thoktar. That's the other thing we're splashing here. Mostly red and green, but we're a healthy splash of white. And I think we can get away with it between our 2 Sylvan Rangers, our 3 Guild Gates. Slime Molding, sure. But yeah, Intangible Virtue probably would have been pretty good in the end. Call of the Conclave, Dragon Fodder, Lingering Souls, Call of the Herd, Penumbra Spider, Eyes in the Skies. Yeah, Paloth Cage Trap. That was probably not ideal, but we do have a lot of tokens to sacrifice to Scorched Rusalka. But it's probably not going to make the cut. Hindwire Lancer might. Wake the Reflections, sure. So I think our mana is going to be good enough. And we're not going to run a Swamp just for Lingering Souls. We're just going to count on our Rakdos Signet producing that black mana. We could think about running a single Swamp for it, so that our Sylvan Ranger can search for it so we can flash it back. But we have Harmonize and 2 Magma Jets to try to find it. That's not terrible. So what do we cut? That's the question. Probably lose Thunderous Wrath. We have 3 Chandra's Outrages, and we may even cut one of them. We have some other cards with Populate. I thought we did. Druid's Deliverance. Yeah, it's probably not worth playing. Neither are the 2 Wake the Reflections. I think we're really just going to be populating with those 2 things. We have 2 Signets, and we have a billion 2-drops and a Mana Dork. I think we can probably get away with 16 lands. We do have 4. We do have a lot of 4s, but I think we can still get away with 16 lands. So we just need to cut one more card. So we've got Ground Assault and Magma Jets as good early removal. And we have these 3 Chandra's Outrages as late removal. May just be like Handwire Lancer. He's just a dude. He doesn't do anything super special in our deck. Yeah, we'll just lose him, I think. We have way more creatures in our deck than it says we do because we have a bunch of things that make creature tokens. So I think this is basically our deck, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. Making creature tokens and populating is something I was looking forward to doing in this format. And even though in the end I think I'm only going to get to draft this format twice, I'm going to get to do it in this draft. So we will play our Scalding Tarn. It's sort of an additional mountain and it thins out your deck, so you may as well play it. And then we have these 3 white sources, and then we're going to run a 4th Plains. Plus we also have Avacyn's Pilgrim. We might be able to get away with a Swamp in this deck. We just might. Let's sort by color. Just so we can flash back Lingering Souls. Because our mana is so good. And obviously we need a lot of forests. Like, more than it thinks we do. I'm only going to run 1 Plains, too, between the Signet, these 3 things. Yeah, we really only need 1 Plains. And so that's 11, that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So is this mana base something I feel okay about? That means in terms of white sources. Oh wait, yeah. We'll run the Tarn. It's like a 5th mountain basically. Plus these both produce red, so we're set on red. In terms of red sources, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's plenty. In terms of white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the 2 Sylvan Rangers. So yeah, our mana is going to be good. It is where we need it to be. The question is, do we try to shove a swamp in here, or do we just be like, well, we'll occasionally flash that back with Rakdos Signet? I think we do the latter. Again, we have 2 Magma Jets and a Harmonize that can help us find our way to flashing it back if we need to. And even if you can't flash it back, it's a solid card. It's better than Eyes in the Skies is on its own. So, all right. Really only ended up with 1 really good bonus for going wide, but we have enough Populate synergy that I think this deck will be pretty sweet. So I will see you guys when the first match begins. All right, we're going into the first match of this draft. This hand is just like all removal and a Call of the Conclave we can't play. We're on the draw. I think I'm going to go ahead and mulligan it. I think we can do a little better. Ooh, there's our Scalding Tarn. Doesn't do us a whole lot of good here, though. I think we got to go to 5. Looking now like the 7 was the one we should have kept. Wow, that Scalding Tarn really likes us. But at least we have another land this time. And Sylvan Ranger. We can get all of our colors, except black. Do I want another land? Yeah, why not? We're going to have a slow start, and we don't have a lot going on late either, but we have powerful things to draw into. So that is what we will hope for. So I'm going to play the Guildgate now instead of the Tarn. Tarn, it's going to get a land that comes into play untapped, so it's going to be better to play as my last land. So the question is, do I play my Ranger now, or do I want to play my Signet? Oh, that makes things a little better. So we're just going to play Avacyn's Pilgrim, and we're going to play Boros Guildgate, and we're going to end our turn. My cat here. I was out of town for about a week, so she's extra needy. So needy that she will, in fact, let me hold her like this. Normally, that's not the case. Okay, well... No, that's enough of that for her. So, is our opponent doing anything? No. But we also don't really have anything to do. We're just going to get in there with his Avacyn's Pilgrim, because that's all we got going. We could play our Signet and our Ranger. But that ship sort of sailed. I'm just going to play the Ranger. Actually, I'm just going to play the Signet. I changed my mind. That way we're set up for, if we draw one of our higher curve cards, we can just play it right away. Man, it's too bad we didn't get a fast hand. I mean, our deck has 1,000,000 2-drops in it. Of course, I guess we did get 2 of them, because our opponent's off to an incredibly slow start. We're just not doing anything about it. All right, crack our Tarn. And we will get a mountain, obviously, since we do not, in fact, have an island. Oh, I could have played them both. For some reason, I was thinking that came into play. If I tap my mana differently, I could have actually played both of those. Hey, creature tokens and such. Okay, so we're going to attack here with our Pilgrim again. This time we're not really screwing anything up by doing so, unlike last time. Drop our opponent to 18. And then we're going to play Sylvan Ranger. What do we search for? I think we probably want another forest more than anything. Even though we have a ton of them. We've already got 3 red sources and 1 white source is really all we ever need. So, yeah, I'm going to grab a forest. And then I'm also going to cast Dragon Fodder. So suddenly we have 4 damage on the table. So if our opponent continues to do nothing, we can at least punish that. We can blow up a lot of creatures that he can play right now. Don't give all my creatures -1/-1. Okay. Tended Knight is sort of annoying. Coming with that token is less than ideal for us. Ooh, there we go. So, how much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can actually do both of these things. I think we do both of them. Yeah. We could also just do this twice. And maybe that's just better. Maybe I just make 2 elephant tokens. I was thinking about maybe using Chandra's Outrage to kill the knight, but I think I'd rather just make 2 elephant tokens here. So we do need to use all of these. So we're going to go Call of the Herd, which gives us 1 elephant token, and then we're going to go and use that mana, and we're going to flashback Call of the Herd. And we're just going to end our turn there. Right now, I really wish I had that intangible virtue that I didn't draft because I'm brilliant. What if my opponent has like Damnation? That would suck. Really would have made me. It's really going to make me wish I had left my. Made both my elephant tokens right away. Okay, that is not especially concerning for us, given what we have right now, so... I think we just let that thing exist. I mean, yeah, our opponent can gain life, but not faster than we can kill him. Avacyn's Pilgrim. Okay, and there's our Thoktar, too. So, we are going to cast Chandra's Outrage. Maybe we should cast it on the soldier. Nah, no, we shouldn't. I can attack with everything if I blow up a Tended Knight. Except my Avacyn's Pilgrim, who I want to use to cast Woolly Thoktar. So, yeah. We're just going to Chandra's Outrage. And attack with everything except for... And then just play our big Thoktar. Obviously, our opponent can block and kill one of our guys, but... Or just chump block an elephant. Looks like they're going for killing. Which bodes well for our opponent not having Damnation, because then a chump block would have made more sense. I need to add red, green, and white. Oh, we're in combat. Killing it here. Okay, we need to add red, green. Just play Thoktar here. Just going to try to run over our opponent before they can do anything. And it looks like we're in pretty good shape to do so. Okay, our opponent's playing their own Sylvan Ranger. Okay, putrefying my biggest guy, but still leaving me with 2 elephant tokens. Wow. That is aggressive. Makes me kind of afraid of what my opponent may have in his hand. Well, Magma Jet's going to make our life easier because we can just kill that guy. We're not... Also means we can kill our opponent more quickly, theoretically. We're just going to attack with everything, including our Pilgrim. We're ready to give up whatever we have to give up. If we have to give up one of our tokens. I mean, it makes more sense to block our Pilgrim, but that puts our opponent pretty low. Puts him down to 4. I think I'm probably going to Magma Jet that soldier, but we'll hold on to it for now. It is an instant after all. Opponent was stuck on 4 for a while and not doing much with it, so him getting more mana is a little bit scary. I'm trying to get my cat settled here. She has a cat tree thing right here. She seems satisfied for now. We can even flashback Lingering Souls right now. Okay, Arachnus Web on one of my guys. Not a huge deal. So I'm just going to Magma Jet this soldier out of the way if that's all my opponent's got for me. And I like both of these. But I guess, well... Yeah, okay, our opponent scooped. As I say, in the event he somehow saves his guy, Penumbra Spider is going to be better, but that was pretty sweet. What did we see from our opponent? Not a lot. Seemed like they kind of dirtled for a while. They do have enchantments, but not a big scary one. Craterhoof Behemoth. We should bring that in. No. Ancient Grudge. Didn't see a reason for that. You need to see Golems, basically, for that to be worth it. Yeah, I don't think we really have anything. We did mulligan to 5 there and managed to win. It's a good sign of the power of our deck. Okay. This is another hand where we have like a lot of nice early enabling things going on, but nothing scary. So we're going to have to draw into the scary, but it's a pretty good hand. Since we can go Burning Tree Emissary, Rakdos Signet, or Sylvan Ranger. Yeah. And that is pretty good. See if our opponent gets any faster of a start this time. Their own Sylvan Ranger. So I may play my own Sylvan Ranger and I may play my Signet. It depends what I draw, sort of. If I draw something I want to ramp into, and we did not. So I think I'd probably play the Ranger. So we're going to play Burning Tree Emissary. Get the mana. And we're going to grab our plains. We even have our black again with our Rakdos Signet, so if we draw our Lingering Souls, we can, in fact, flash it back. We're going to use the Ranger's ability. Grab our plains. And we'll end our turn. I guess we have our Avacyn's Pilgrim as a white source, but it's a pretty fragile white source. This nonsense again. Well, we're just going to kill the creature, but it's going to take a little while. Okay. Because we can't Chandra's Outrage it right away, so it's going to hit us some. All right, well, we're going to attack with both our guys. Not like we can block this Sylvan Ranger anyway. And then I'm going to play Avacyn's Pilgrim and Rakdos Signet. Do everything we can there. And next turn we have 2 Chandra's Outrages ready to go. Well, we can't cast both in one turn, but you know what I mean. Ooh, Gideon's Lawkeeper is kind of obnoxious. Call of the Herd comes back to me, which is nice. But yeah, that Lawkeeper is... its ability to tap something down is very real. The good news is our opponent doesn't have a ton of white mana hanging out over there, just ready to go. I'm actually just going to attack with everything. All right, opponent takes it. And in that case, do I still want to use Chandra's Outrage? I think it might just be better to use Call of the Herd right now. Yeah, let's do that. Get our elephant token. We do have cards with Populate. We may only have 2 of them, though, in the end, I think, but it would be fun to get one of them and make an elephant token. Okay, we're going to take 2 to the face again. Our opponent's going to gain 2. Okay, well, now we have seen some golems. I am... how do I need to tap my mana here so that I can also play my Thoktar? That's the question. I think that means we need to use our Signet. No green mana. Oh no, we have green in our hand. Oh, there's no way I can play the Thoktar. Wait, there has to be. I'm doing the mana math wrong here. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. And we have 3 sources of red. So let me play this forest. Use the red from this. Another red from that. Yeah, okay. Figured it out. For those of you who are screaming at the screen right now. Okay, so I'm going to use Chandra's Outrage on the Golem. Get him out of the way. And then I'm just going to attack with everything. Opponent doesn't have white mana up, so... and then we're going to play our Thoktar. Still have Call of the Herd in our graveyard, too, is worth noting. So, right, he's just going to lose his Splicer. Take 5, go to 12. And then I will play the Thoktar. Still have another Chandra's Outrage for whatever. Opponent can now pretty easily leave up white mana to tap down whatever our best creature is. Master Splicer, okay. Well, Ancient Grudge seems sort of reasonable now. And actually, with this and this, if we play game 3, I think we bring in Seal of Primordium. Right, we go to 12, they go to 14. Exchange life totals. All right. Draw land. So there's some pretty gross things that could happen here. like if my opponent's almost definitely tapping down the Thoktar. Opponent is almost definitely tapping down my Thoktar, but I guess I can go to combat first and see if that's the case. Let's go to combat. If he does that, he also has to tap his Lawkeeper. So let's see what happens. Probably kill the Golem if he does. Yeah, it looks like he's going to. Yeah. So kill the Golem. Then we attack with both of these because I can actually cast the second Call of the Herd out of my graveyard. It's not the second one, but use the flashback. You know what I mean. Right, you're just gonna take it. And we will cast Call of the Herd. Opponent does have a ton of mana. Could do some crazy things with it, certainly. But yeah, Seal of Primordium will be coming in the next game if there is one. Now that our hand's empty, our opponent could play some pretty potentially scary things, which we won't have an answer for most likely. Sensor Splicer with Unburial Rights. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty scary. We drew our Boros Signet. This is not when you want to be drawing your Boros Signet. Okay, we're going to go to combat. Opponent's going to tap our Thoktar. So we're in trouble now. We are kind of out of gas. The kind of thing we need is like our Lingering Souls or something. We're just going to play this Signet. And end our turn. So our opponent can just keep hitting us in the air. We do have more removal. Magma Jet, for example. A couple of those in our deck. Those would be great too because it would help us scry into some more action. All right. Then if I kill one of these splicers, my opponent can bring them back with Unburial Rights, which isn't exactly good news. Playing the last card in their hand now. Is it another splicer? No, it's Zur. That's cool. Oh, yeah, we're drawing like all of our silly fix our mana cards right now. I wonder what our opponent can find. We know they can get Arachnus Web, for example. So it's pretty cool that our opponent is playing Zur. Just going to play this Ranger because we don't really have anything else to do. And we're going to use its ability. Let's grab a mountain. Why not? We don't have enough mana or anything. Okay, our opponent's actually going to let us attack with Zur, but that's probably, Zur, with Woolly Thoktar. It's probably because they just want to Unburial Rights back a Golem. And at this point, I guess we do it anyway. Yeah, he's going to Unburial Rights the Sensor Splicer Black, which will give him another Golem. Opponent can attack us for 3 in the air right now, while also grabbing Arachnus Web. Arachnus Web can't shut down my Woolly Thoktar, but can shut down my other creatures. And he probably has something else he can get with Zur. Unflinching Courage. Okay, yeah, that's gross. That also explains why Gift of Orzova's here. We're definitely bringing in our seals because our opponent is all about the auras here, and we can blow them up. So we go to 3. They go back all the way back up to 16. They can Unburial Rights back Sensor Splicer. Doesn't look like we're going to win this second game, but we've seen more of our opponent's deck this time. And because of that, yeah, we're done. Because of that, we can make some different decisions here. So, Seal of Primordium is going to be very good here. What's not that great? It's a good question. Lots of stuff that we just haven't drawn that would have been great. But I think we want to bring in both. We saw 2 fairly powerful auras and 2 golems. We could cut like Harmonize, but that's pretty great in the late game. It is still what I'm thinking about cutting. I think it is what I cut. And maybe the Cage Trap too. Although we can cast it for free against our opponent often enough that that's probably not correct. Maybe we lose 1 Ranger. Lose a little bit of fixing for Hate. I think that works. We would like to play first. Okay. This is a solid hand. We have Rakdos Signet and Lingering Souls this time. And that is a pretty good way to win a game, is just flashing back Lingering Souls. And we can do it. We've gotten Rakdos Signet every game, but we hadn't seen the Lingering Souls. Also have our Seal of Primordium. It's kind of tricky to know when to play those because there's definitely situations where you don't want your opponent to know you can blow up their artifact or enchantment, but sometimes it's also nice to be able to play it and then not have to spend the mana to kill something. I mean, it's basically a sorcery speed disenchant otherwise. I'm going to play my Signet for now, so as not to telegraph anything. Then next turn we'll fire off our first Lingering Souls, and then we'll probably just flash it back and try to kill our opponent in the air. We want to play Rakdos Signet first, since we want that black mana for our flashing back of Lingering Souls. Next turn we can play Boros Signet and Lingering Souls. This also sets us up for our red mana, which is the color we're missing. All right. There's a Sylvan Ranger. Okay. Now I kind of just want to play the Pilgrim and Lingering Souls. So if I play my Signet, and playing the Signet's probably still going to be better. So we'll do that. Just ramps us way more. We can flashback Lingering Souls next turn and play Penumbra Spider if we draw land. All right. Ooh, Call of the Conclave too. So we're just going to attack. Can our opponent do something about that? No. Then I think we play both Call of the Conclave and we flash back Lingering Souls. There's Zur again, who is in fact obnoxious. He slows down the Lingering Souls game. We need a kill spell for him. Okay, so with Zur, I think our plan of defense is probably to play Penumbra Spider and Seal of Primordium, and then we can pretty effectively block him. Yeah. Because then we can use the seal to blow up whatever it is he searches for. So... Can we actually do that the way our mana is set up here? Yes. No. No, we can't. Well, that's obnoxious. I guess we just play the spider then. Except we also can't. Ugh. Okay, so yeah, spider. Okay, we can do both. I knew we could. And then I'm gonna play the Seal of Primordium. Okay, that doesn't concern me too much. But what the problem is, though, is that we don't really have a way of attacking right now until we draw a way to kill Zur, basically. So what's he going to get here that can keep me from killing Zur? That also can't be blown up. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Okay, so we're just going to go Seal of Primordium, blow up. Well, I don't even have to do it. All I lose is one spirit token anyway. I guess I'm going to do it just to be safe. My opponent could have a trick. So we'll blow up the Arachnus Web, which flavor fail that it can be put on a spider, but there you go. And then we're just going to put everybody in front of this thing. Because now the skies are free for our spirit tokens, which he's probably going to kill one of. But there'll still be 3 of them. All right. Okay, so I think I attack with my centaur and all of my spirits. Heck, I can even attack with my spider. I guess I do. I was thinking this was a 3/3. Opponent just takes it. It's a little scary when opponents just take that much damage. Play Avacyn's Pilgrim and end our turn. Don't play another flyer. could have Unburial Rights, which would be annoying. It would just sort of put us back where we were. He does. Okay, great. Great. Bronzebeak Moa is big. Removal. Scalding Tarn, that's not removal. Okay, well, I think I just attack. God, this is hard. Zur really creates a problem here. Plus, our opponent can get it back even after we kill it. If we could have killed it this turn, it would have made a big difference, but... Oh, Zur. If I attack with everything here, you block. I guess these two things, maybe a Spirit, and you take 4, go to 6. It's not really enough. He's going to get an aura to pump Zur up, which is a problem. But we're not really going to be able to block him anyway. So I think we just attack with our Centaur and our Spider. One of them is going to get through for damage. And we're going to kill something in the process. Gonna play Scalding Tarn. Really need to stop drawing lands. We've only got 16 of them. God, Wing Splicer. Our opponent's making our life very difficult. Zur is now going to attack and get a token. I mean, get an aura as well. We're going to have to block this Bronzebeak Moa too. Things not going our way. Okay. What's Zur get this time? Really should have saved that Seal of Primordium and just killed Zur when I could have, in retrospect. I guess my Spider can still block Zur. That's something. We're going to take 3. Crack our Tarn. Grab a Mountain. Not a land. Dragon Fodder. Not a whole lot better. It does give us more ways to block on the ground, but it does not help us block Zur. So we'll play Dragon Fodder. And in the turn there. So sad that Lingering Souls isn't going to be able to lead us to victory on its own here. That can just sometimes happen, and we live the dream with it. But the appearance of Zur has caused us a problem. Okay, yeah, Momentary Blink. Get yourself another Golem. Pump up your Bronzebeak Moa some more, but we can still block him. I guess my Spider blocks Zur, though it doesn't really... I guess I can double block a Golem and kill it. Our opponent might get yet another aura for Zur, so... He's not going to attack with the Golem. Yeah, he did. So now we can't really effectively block Zur with Penumbra Spider. Oh, we put it there. Oh, flying. That's why. Okay. Well, that is bad. We are probably going to lose this game. Zur really destroyed us. Our opponent built a pretty sweet deck around Zur. All the way up to 23 now with all that lifelink. We can't afford to draw land here, so don't do it to me. Okay, Woolly Thoktar. That's something. So I'll play him. in my turn. Yeah, I wish we'd gotten the green splicer for our deck, but what are you going to do? Oh yeah, they're going to make another golem. It's interesting they decided to do that now because their Bronzebeak Moa is not going to stay huge. But I guess that gives them 3 flyers, and that's kind of, well, more than that, 5 flyers, and that's kind of more important. Yep. That just means we're basically dead. Not literally, because we can block 3 flyers, but we don't really have a card that's going to pull us out of this. Looks like our opponent's finally out of auras to grab. So we're going to block there. We're going to block here. And yeah, I guess we'll block another one too. I guess Ancient Grudge probably even would have been worth bringing in with all of the golems we've had to deal with. Yeah, land again. Not so good. All right, well, we had a promising start to our first match, winning the first game very handily, but the other 2 games we just got, our opponent just ground us out and destroyed us, basically. We needed Chandra's Outrage early, and it's amazing that Unburial Rites was so good here, but it really was. Killing Zur once felt great, but then our opponent just had the rights, and we were screwed, so on to the next one. All right, I'm going into the second match of a Modern Masters 2017 draft. We lost our first match. Hopefully we can do a little better here. This is a pretty good hand. Yeah. We lead with Avacyn's Pilgrim. I might just play Death Hood Cobra and go for getting in more damage early instead of grabbing my Mountain. Well, now we go Burning Tree Emissary. And I think Dragon Fodder. And then we attack for 1. So we suddenly have a massive board here. That's what Burning Tree Emissary can sometimes allow you to do. Yeah, and our opponent's just playing a Signet, which is good news for us. Okay. I'm going to attack with these. No, I'd like to just play the other 2 dudes in my hand, so we'll get in for 4 here. And then we play Sylvan Ranger. I'm going to use its ability to grab, I guess, another forest. Yeah. And then we're going to play Death Hood Cobra and end our turn. So if our opponent doesn't play a creature here, they're in a lot of trouble. If they do, they're still not in great shape given how massive our board already is on turn 3. We get in for 8 and drop them to 7. We didn't really get... The thing that would have really pushed this deck over that we didn't get is a way to, like, pump my whole team. Oh god, another Signet? Is that all you have? Okay, you also have a Tandem Lookout, so you're going to be able to block and kill something. Baloth Cage Trap. I wish I had you earlier. Alright, well, I'm going to play this land. I'm just going to attack with everything. Actually, we don't want to attack with the Pilgrim so we can leave our Cage Trap up. We'll attack with everything else, though. Alright. Drop the opponent to 10. Interesting. We're just going to try to play this cage trap. If our opponent counters it, it's not a huge deal. If he doesn't, he's just dead, basically. So, yeah, and there's some removal. We don't have the double red for it, though. Probably should have grabbed a mountain instead of a forest earlier. But we'll go ahead and attack with everybody. He's probably got a kill spell for someone. Mortify. Oh, cower in fear. Ouch. Okay. Mainboarding that, huh? Well, it worked out for our opponent there. Still go down to 6. Could have something like Dinrova Horror here, which would really make me sad. Please don't be a Dinrova Horror. It's a Dinrova Horror. I hate it when I'm right about things like that. So he's going to bounce that and make me discard Chandra's Outrage. So shouldn't be letting me. Okay, it's not. As I said, it shouldn't be letting me discard that. So we went from a very fast and promising start to now just needing to draw well to win, which, you know, is never a good place to be. Dinrova Horror number 2. It's a pretty gross card. Sensor Splicer, okay. Just play our Guildgate. Opponent can now probably attack with their Dinrova Horror without too much fear. But yeah, now they're just going to town on casting things. We need to draw our Harmonize or something. Something to do this last 6 points of damage. Gross. Okay, Deadeye Navigator plus Sensor Splicer or Dinrova Horror is basically just good game if we can't draw a way to break that up. God, we've drawn lands at bad times. I mean, there's a good chance we do. We're in top deck mode here, but he can just blink this and bounce things now, which does not bode well for us. I know I'm at 20, but it feels like I may as well scoop, and that's never a good place to be. We could still draw our way out, but it would have to be one heck of a draw. I held on to my forest, especially because if my opponent decides to blink something here, I can at least discard the forest instead of the actual permanent. And this is on top of the fact that my opponent can swing at us for a bunch of damage. Yep, Dinrova Horror. At least we have a forest to discard, but now our opponent can swing at us for 8 that we can't really block. Plus he can do it again. So actually, we should probably just give up. Yeah, we're going to. He can do that as many times as he wants to. Yeah, that not as many times as he wants to, but with all the blue mana he has, we were just going to die. He was just going to bounce everything. We didn't have any good way of killing that late. Maybe we just need Thunderous Wrath so we can actually kill some of those bigger creatures. But the problem is our opponent can just blink it in response. So Thunderous Wrath doesn't solve our problems for us here. Not especially, anyway. No. And we got a great start there. That's what really is so disheartening, is we really had a great blitz start, and then our opponent was just stabilized at 6, and we couldn't do anything about it. Okay, so sideboard-wise, I don't really think we have any plans, unfortunately. The bad news is our opponent has a main board, Cower in Fear, and that card destroys us. This is a solid hand. But yeah, Cower, and we finally see 2 eyes in the skies. We've been wanting to see those for a while. But Cower in Fear just kills so many creatures in our deck. And that's really what gave our opponent the time to stabilize, was that he could cower in fear there. It's funny that a card called with such an unassuming name does such a good thing for you. Usually you wouldn't think cowering in fear would be good. It's tempting to leave up the mana just because I don't know, but there's a good chance my opponent plays a Signet here, which means I get a free, not a free, but a 2 mana 4/4. But I think we're going to go for the sure thing here and go for a 2 mana 3/3, which is only a little bit worse. This time we need to draw lands, so that would be lovely if we could. Hey, didn't play Signet. Hey, there's a land. That's good. So we're going to attack. So if we draw another land, going Eyes in the Skies and being able to make a copy of the Centaur is pretty great. If he didn't play Signet there, there's a very little chance he has one in his hand. So I'm just going to play Tattermunge Witch. One of our few bonuses for going wide in this deck. Land. We did it. We did it. We drew that land. Awesome thing about Eyes in the Skies is it's also an instant. So we're just going to leave all of our mana up now and be super happy. Because we have Chandra's Outrage to kill a blocker. We have Eyes in the Skies to make a flyer plus a Centaur. So, yeah. And we can leave the mana up for a cheaper beast token with Baloth Cage Trap. Okay, Crippling Chill. Can't do anything about that. But we will get in for 2. Opponent needs double black for Cower in Fear. This time our board's not going to be quite as susceptible to it. We'll lose like a bird and Tattermunge Witch. So, yeah, I mean, if our opponent does nothing, we just cast Eyes in the Skies and suddenly have a Centaur that's actually untapped and a flyer. If our opponent plays a good blocker, we use Chandra's Outrage. If our opponent plays a Signet, we play Baloth Cage Trap. Or a Splicer, either one. Especially because once we have a 4/4 beast, we can copy that with Eyes in the Sky. So that's actually like the ideal thing, probably, for us to be able to do here. So I wouldn't hate if our opponent played a Splicer right now, as strange as that sounds. Nope, Tended Knight. You are not a Splicer. All right. So we're just going to play Eyes in the Skies at the end of our opponent's turn. All right, so Eyes in the Skies. Make a Centaur. Okay, now we have mana for Baloth Cage Trap. So I think we attack with our centaur and our bird. He just wants to trade for the centaur. I could break it up with Chandra's Outrage, but I don't really think it's worth it. I think we just get in for the 1. We could pump him and have him trample. But that doesn't really accomplish much right here. So we're just going to kill both those guys. Play land and be ready to play all sorts of stuff. We don't want this game to go long because we know our opponent's going to win the long game. Okay, Sensor Splicer. So that means we can play our Baloth Cage Trap for 2 mana. So I think that's what we're going to do. If only we had 1 more mana. But this is going to be a pretty good turn. Especially because we drew another Chandra's Outrage. I think we just Chandra's Outrage the Golem. And attack with 4, 7, 8. Is it worth attacking with Tattermunge Witch here? Probably just get chumped and killed. Probably not, because its ability to give my guys trample could be relevant later. I mean, my opponent can now blink their Sensor Splicer if they want to, but they're also at 4 life, and we have Chandra's Outrage and Tattermunge Witch. So getting through for that last lethal damage shouldn't be too hard, even though our opponent is probably about to play Denrova Horror, which is also good against us. It just kills our beast token. We do not want to see Denrova Horror again. All right. Looks like we got that one. Still don't think we want Seal of Primordium. Nah. I think our deck's good as it is for this matchup. We need this aggression. Let's get a turn 3 Woolly Thoktar. Hell, we could play a turn 2 Woolly Thoktar in an ideal world with Avacyn's Pilgrim. Wow, that's not a great hand. 6 lands and a Deathhood Cobra. So we're going to send it back. This one's pretty good. Call of the Herd early. Hey, Woolly Thoktar. I think we keep him because we can play him with the help of our Sylvan Ranger. I probably don't do it on turn 3 unless I get super lucky. We'd probably just go Dragon Fodder, Call of the Herd, which our Dragon Fodder is really not that great in this matchup because we know our opponent freaking has Cower and Fear. But nonetheless. Well, now we can play Deathhood Cobra instead, but I think we want to get the Dragon Fodder tokens in there and doing damage while they can. You know, I could play a turn 3 Thoktar, can't I? If I play Ranger. Ooh. I think we might want to just try to do that. Yeah, we're just going to try to do that. It's going to be a much bigger problem for my opponent. So I'll play the Ranger, and then we grab either Mountain or Plains. Probably Mountain, because we need double red. So Mountain it is. And we end our turn. So Thoktar and Call of the Herd are both nice, but definitely the Thoktar is a scarier thing for opponent to have to deal with early. All right. Okay. We have our only... No, we have more than 1 mountain. We only have 1 plains is what it is. So I think I play Scalding Tarn. Get our mountain. And play Woolly Thoktar. End our turn. It's not a bad plan A to be able to play Woolly Thoktar that early. Okay. Well, I think I attack with the Thoktar. He has to give up enough stuff that I don't feel too terrible about it. I mean, he basically just trades his Wing Splicer for it, but I'm okay with that. I guess he actually, yeah, that was bad because he only has to lose one thing now, but we'll kill the Golem. I was for some reason thinking I could kill two things no matter what, and I can't, so that was an ugly, ugly attack. Okay. Now, what do we do? I think I want to go with Dragon Fodder and Call of the Conclave. But yeah, that was a dumb attack. Only killing a Golem token with my Thoktar. Come on. We're getting into Nrova horror territory too, which is not a territory we'd like to be in. Okay, so I'm going to attack with this Centaur this time. There's a decent chance our opponent blinks their Wing Splicer or something disgusting like that, and then just like blocks with the Golem token they make. Oh, Cower in Fear, so to wipe my board. Okay, well, that sucks. But we do have a plan B, which is to make an elephant token and play Deathhood Cobra. Well, it's not Nrova horror. So there's that. Okay. We're going to call the herd again. Play a land, and we're going to end our turn. Which is not good. It's not good that we're having to pass our turn and our opponent's still at 20. Because we know our opponent can be like Nrova horror, bounce a bunch of stuff. Also play Agent of Masks to slowly kill us. Our opponent has a pretty sweet control deck. For sure. And Baloth Cage Trap is something. Okay. I think we just have to try to force our opponent's hand and hope we draw well, basically. So I think we want to attack with both our elephants. Okay, so we're going to kill the Talon Trooper. Get in for 3. Play this land. Opponent drains us. Freaking Agent of Masks. We have Baloth Cage Trap ready to eat one of my opponent's creatures, but he did not play very aggressively, unfortunately, for us. That's what I was hoping we'd get to do. But we'll play Baloth Cage Trap. We really need Eyes in the Skies. Ooh. I've been complaining about not seeing it, but we saw it right there. So I think I attack first. Yeah. I'm going to attack. In response to him killing or blocking or whatever, I can use Eyes in the Skies. To make another beast token and a 1/1 flyer. Aether Toe, okay. Ooh. He's going to be able to copy that too and bounce both our creatures. So, sure. Yeah, so tap Agent of Masks and Wing Splicer. We'll play Eyes in the Skies to make a copy of our beast token. As both of those cards just completely disappear because they're tokens. And We end our turn. But yeah, this is not good. We have to hope we draw well. That's really the only way we can win this game, I think. Well, that'll do it. Drawing back-to-back Eyes in the Skies is nice. Still doesn't guarantee us a win, but, you know, this is what we have to do to have any hope of winning this game. Got to keep whittling away our opponent's board, too, so that when Denrova Horror does get played, inevitably, it doesn't just completely destroy us. Okay, so we're going to get in for 5 there, which I like, and we're going to leave up mana for Eyes in the Skies. Gifts Ungiven. Don't tell me you have, like, Gristlebrand. Please tell me you don't have Gristlebrand and Unburial Rites. Unburial Rites in anything is pretty gross, but if we have to see Gristlebrand here, I might cry. I will cry. I mean, I'll scoop. It's like impossible to beat. I'm hoping he's just using it to draw a couple cards. Okay, good. That's good. Good-ish. I think we'd rather give our opponent Urbis Protector and Mistraven. Ugh, I don't like any of these options, but I think we put Deadeye Navigator and Denrova Horror in the graveyard. Mistraven can, of course, just kill our beast. And Urbis Protector makes a massive angel token, but I think that's how we want to play that. Okay, Mistraven in response. Man, too many ways to bounce things in this format for a token deck to be good. It's what it's felt like. It is what it has felt like. So the other card in our opponent's hand is Urbis Protector, which is going to give him a big 4/4 flyer. Oh, Magma Jet. That makes things a little better. Makes them a lot better, actually. We're going to Magma Jet. Oh, not a lot better, but better. We're going to Magma Jet Mistraven. Ooh, we really want Harmonize. Yes, please. That can actually help us get somewhere here. And then we're going to attack with both our birds. Yeah, I think just both our birds. I don't know. Let's attack with the beast too. We know the one card in our opponent's hand is Urbis Protector. We know we're about to draw Harmonize. We know our opponent's at 9. So we're about to go up to 10, but we can kill the Urbis Protector's Angel Friend with our Deathhood Cobra because it can gain reach. So we have that going for us. Look at that angel token. Okay, so we're going to draw Harmonize. Okay. Now I wish I'd tap my mana differently. It's hard to, you know, in these formats that you don't play for as long, it's harder to make like the optimal plays as frequently, but I should have remembered to leave up 2 reds so that I could have cast Chandra's Outrage on the Angel right away. But yeah, I did not, obviously. I think I'm just going to end my turn. Yeah, we're just going to end the turn. We have another Magma Jet to help us draw well, which is good. Because, as I said, we basically just have to draw really, really well to find our way out of this. Okay, so I think I Magma Jet something now. Probably just that Knight. Yeah, we'll get rid of this Knight. And we will scry both of those to the bottom. So thank God for scrying some more. Ooh, we don't have our black mana, but that's still pretty good if we can get that flyer out of the way. so which we can. We're going to cast Chandra's Outrage on the Angel token. Drop our opponent to 9. And we're going to attack with our Beast and both birds. We might actually do this thanks to scrying twice and also being very lucky. So we're going to Lingering Souls, get a couple more flyers. Our opponent, if they get something that lets them blink one of their 2 scary creatures, I'm going to be pretty sad. But so far, so good. Okay. I think I just attack with everything. Because the Cobra is no longer like super important. You're just going to take 6. Holding on to the card in my hand in case we see Dinrova Horror, which if we see Dinrova Horror, we are in trouble, I can tell you. The good news is we still have so many flyers and our opponent's at 2 that even Dinrova Horror has a hard time. Okay, they're at 3, but Dinrova Horror is going to have a hard time just like finishing us here. Second Agent of Masks. Ooh, Rakdos Signet means more spirit tokens. Okay, so we just attack with everything again. He's going to tap my beast token, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't hate trading my Death Hood Cobra for one of those Agent of Masks. He didn't tap my beast. I guess it's because he can't block my flyers. Yeah, we got there. That was, we were in a terrible place, and we really had to draw well, and hope our opponent drew poorly, and that's what happened. Scrying 4 was a big deal, helped us win that match with our Magma Jets, and just Lingering Souls, man. So we're gonna go into our third match and hopefully finish with a couple of packs so that we can break even thanks to our Scalding Tarn. Even more than break even, I think, but these drafts are pretty expensive. So on to the next match. All right, we are going into the finals of a Modern Masters 2017 draft. This hand is an interesting one. We don't have any red mana, and we have Chandra's Outrage, and that sucks. But we also have Lingering Souls and Baloth Cage Trap, and lots of people run Signets. So I think it's a keep. It's not one I love, but it's a solid keep. If we can draw our red mana, that'll help us get it. That would be great. Bad news is our opponent can play a Signet right now. No, they're going to play Soul Warden. So do I play? I think we probably go for the Thoktar plan here now. Yeah, let's do that. This thing's actually pretty good against us because we make creature tokens. So our opponent's going to be gaining some life off of it. But yeah, we're going to grab a mountain. We need it for multiple reasons. And it lets us play a turn 3 Thoktar, which is always a good thing. Turn 3 Lingering Souls is good too, but Thoktar sort of demands an answer. Especially on a board with creatures this small. Okay, we got Rakdos Signet ready to go now too. So we're just going to play Thoktar. And end our turn. So we can play Lingering Souls and flash it back, which is kind of annoying with Soul Warden in play. We also have mana now to cast Chandra's Outrage thanks to our Signet. So yeah, our opponent's trying to think of a way to stop the Thoktar. Because they kind of have to. I mean, if you face a turn 3 Woolly Thoktar, you've got to be able to block it effectively and kill it, or it can just... It'll just swing a game, even gaining all the life our opponent is. Looks like he may... Yeah, he's just going to kill it. Had to spend all his mana to do it, and he did mill our ground assault, which we haven't seen at all. Look at that gnawing zombie getting in there. Ooh, double signet. Okay, we're going to attack with our Sylvan Ranger. And then we're going to play Rakdos Signet. Going to gain our opponent some life here, unfortunately. And play Lingering Souls. Would have been nice to have Soul Warden in our deck, I guess. Entomber Exarch, okay. Non-creature card, that sucks. Because Baloth, Cage Trap, and Chandra's Outrage are things I'd like to actually, like, cast. It's not going to happen now. Well, one of them won't happen. The good news is I feel pretty good about still having either of the other two. Went with the Cage Trap. I was more worried about a 4/4 beast. Right, so we'll take one from the Gnawing Zombie. So he gnaws away. All right, so I think we attack with both our spirits. What if our opponent has Cower in Fear? It's going to make me cower in fear if they do. I'm going to do that. Going to flash back Lingering Souls, which again gives our opponent some life, but in the long run, they'll do more damage than they're giving my opponent. And I'll also play Boros Signet and end my turn. I definitely ended up flashing back Lingering Souls more than I had any right to, given our mana base. We take 3. Grixis Slave Driver. Ugh. That's no fun for us. Since it can come back, gain our opponent life, give him a zombie, and so forth. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to kill the Slave Driver, even though I just mentioned what it can do, because it's going to be even worse if my opponent can sacrifice stuff to it. Maybe I should just kill Soul Warden. But I don't think that's the right thing to do. I'm just gonna Chandra's Outrage this dude. Gives our opponent a zombie, gains them life. All that crap. We're gonna attack with all these spirits. This Soul Warden is breaking my heart. And then we're gonna play Sylvan Ranger. And grab a mountain. And in my turn. We've just got to find a way to keep our opponent from killing us on the ground, and just keep swinging in the air with spirits. So I think I'm going to double block Entomber Exarch here and just take the rest. Unfortunately. This is going away. So we will take 7. Is our opponent going to sacrifice that? No, they're Agony Warping. Ouch. Agony indeed. Okay. Well, that is bad news. Eyes in the Skies. Whoa. Making tokens is supposed to be a good thing. My opponent is not making it feel like a good thing. Oh, man. Okay. Eyes in the skies. We'll make a spirit just because. And we're just going to end their turn. We can't really attack anymore. We're too low on life. We have to use our tokens to block things, which is really not where we wanted to be. But it is where we've ended up. So we will kill these things and take 3. Freaking turn 1 Soul Warden. I mean, I don't think we would have won anyway because Agony Warp again. Yeah, that's game. All right. Well, those Agony Warps were brutal. Such a good card. So don't really have a sideboard that can help me here very much. No, I just think we have to have a better start. I mean, we had a pretty okay start. We just have to hope for no Soul Warden. Or at least for some Magma Jet to blow up Soul Warden. Well, there's all 3 of our Chandra's Outrages. That might be okay in this matchup. It wasn't like our opponent had a blistering fast start. Yeah. No, I gotta send that back. Okay, this one's better. We do desperately need red mana, and our Sylvan Ranger will give it to us, which will make this hand pretty reasonable. Especially if we can get our opponent to play a Signet, but we're actually going to play our Ranger, so it won't matter. Yes. Red mana. Hey, Soul Warden. This time, I think we should just kill it. We don't have anything else to do on this turn anyway. I'm going to offer a trade first, but my opponent's not going to take it. Of course. So I'm going to play Rakdos Signet. And I'm just going to Magma Jet Soul Warden. Do I really want either of these? What I really need is more green mana so I can play Baloth, Cage Trap, and Eyes in the Skies. I mean, I guess Eyes in the Skies isn't terrible without anything else, but I don't really feel like... I think I'd rather just put these both on the bottom and see what else we can draw. Neither of those are especially exciting given the situation. They weren't bad, but... like, even drawing a land seems solid. Wall of Frost. Okay, well. I'm going to pass my turn. We're probably just going to end up casting Eyes in the Skies here and going for the 2/1/1 tokens. We really need that 4th forest. Or 2nd forest, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, yeah, we're just going to try to cast Eyes in the Skies here. See if our opponent lets us or if they counter it or something. They could be planning on countering it. We saw no counter magic, but in the first game that is, but it could happen. Okay, well, I don't hate that. More Eyes in the Skies. And we again have Rakdos Signet. You know, for the amount of time, number of times we've been able to flash back Lingering Souls, you'd think we would have won more. I would have guessed it anyway. So, yeah, we'll just cast Lingering Souls here. Just try to kill our opponent in the air before they can do anything about it. And we've got Harmonize, Chandra's Outrage, and Baloth Cage Trap ready to go should the mana arrive. Scalding Tarn's not quite going to do it, but we still have 4 other flyers, and we can make more. And I guess we will. Agony Warp, okay. Well, means our opponent only takes 2 this turn. And yeah, we'll flash back Lingering Souls. We want to leave up mana so that we can cast Baloth Cage Trap. And we'll just do this now. I mean, doesn't really make a difference. And we'll grab a Mountain. We didn't see in game 1 that our opponent had the -1/-1 to your opponent's whole team card. If they do, we're going to be pretty sad. Okay, Moroi, we can kill that. So, not too concerned about it. Hey, there's that other forest. We're just going to go ahead and... yeah, we again want to leave up mana for our Cage Trap. Just in case that ends up happening, but we're just going to go Chandra's Outrage. Boom. Attack for 5 in the skies. Drops our opponent down to 8. Play an artifact, please. Of course, he's actually not that good right now because of Wall of Frost. All right, well, that one went our way. Certainly. Trying to think of a way to like bust through a Wall of Frost, and I think the answer is just to keep flying over. We don't really have any good way of doing it. Magma Jet plus like Thoktar combat damage, I guess. I don't know. All right, well, this is another good hand. This is a turn 3 Thoktar hand after a turn 2 Sylvan Ranger, so I wish we were on the play a little, but that's okay. We're going to play our Guildgate. Lone Missionary. Whatever opponent sided that in, it's a pretty good card to side in. The life gain is very real. All right. So we're going to play Sylvan Ranger. I'm going to use its ability, of course. We'll get to go for the mountain for double red here because we already have, yeah, we're good. We're good for the mana to play our Thoktar next turn. Okay. Well, it's Thoktar time. Then we have all kinds of goodies in our hand, so we need to draw one of our Eyes in the Skies so we can populate with the Elephant or Baloth Cage Trap token. We don't have our black mana to do the flashing back this time, which is a little disheartening. We were allowed to do that last. And basically, every time we've played Lingering Souls, we've gotten to do it, which shouldn't happen. We have 1 black source in our deck. That's a big part of why we have at least a chance here to actually pick up some prizes. Okay. I'm going to play this land because I might want to use Chandra's Outrage depending on what my opponent's going to do here. So we're going to attack with Woolly Thoktar. Okay. Guessing you're just going to sacrifice your dude. Now you're going to Agony Warp. Okay. So... doesn't that mean he still doesn't die? Because this only has 1 power. He's going to get -3, -0, and -0, -3. So all you're doing is keeping your guy alive. I feel okay about that. Oh no, my guy will die. So in that case, I guess we do go ahead and use Chandra's Outrage. Because that really puts our opponent behind on having a way to stop this Woolly Thoktar. We did have to lose some tempo there to do it, but I think it was probably worth it. And then my opponent played Wall of Frost. We're going to attack into it, though, because we drew that Magma Jet. So get in there, Thoktar. Yeah. Magma Jet. Dragon Fodder seems fine. Does mean our guy's not going to untap, but it means that that thing is gone. And I'm going to go for another big creature on the ground here and cast Call of the Herd. Don't play another Wall of Frost. Went through all that trouble to get rid of it. Seagate Oracle makes that dragon fodder I put on top of my library a lot worse. Okay. Well, my opponent can effectively block my elephant. Isn't that sad? I think it's sad. I think I'm just going to make some Lingering Souls tokens. And some Dragon Fodder tokens as well. And in my turn. Start attacking with the spirits. Thoktar can attack now too, so it makes attacking with Elephant and the Thoktar a lot better. Okay, there's no Agony Warp mana up. I like that part. Okay. Well, really all we can... Oh, I think attacking with the Elephant and the Thoktar is still good. Alright, so I think I want to kill Seagate Oracle even more. Because it's going to more effectively be able to block all of my other tokens. Then I think I'm just going to make another Elephant and leave mana up in case my opponent plays... Alright, this is going to cost 4. In case my opponent plays an artifact. You're not an artifact, are you? You look kind of like you could be an artifact creature, but you're not. I wouldn't have been able to... I was tapped out anyway, but I was curious. Where's that Rakdos Signet that shows up every time I play Lingering Souls? We're basically in territory. Like, our opponent does nothing here, where we just swing with everything. Yeah, we lose a 1-1 in the process, but it's not a big deal. Our opponent does have Agony Warp up, so we may want to play around that a little bit. Because Agony Warp can definitely mess me up here. At least can mess up my Woolly Thoktar. God, freaking Agony Warp. He's already played 1. We end up getting 2 for 1, basically. Which is why... Well, no, I think I'm still going to do it. Still going to do it. We have Baloth, Cage Trap, and Penumbra Spider still in our hand, and that makes me a little less concerned about an Agony Warp. I mean, it's definitely going to hurt us. And there it is. All right. He still has to lose something to kill my Thoktar, so it's just a lone missionary, but I still 2 for 1 him, so I feel okay about that. Drop our opponent to 12 in the process. I think I'm gonna play the Spider for now. I really need to draw another Chandra's Outrage to get rid of this Talon Trooper. No, and our opponent has black mana. At least we have a Penumbra Spider, but that is not cool. Okay, well, we're done with our turn. Oh, Soul Warden. Now it's time for flashing back Lingering Souls and gaining a bunch of life. Oh, God. I hate it. Here, have some more life. Boros Signet, that's what we needed. If we needed something, it was Boros Signet. All right. Well, I'm going to attack with this beast token. Opponent can obviously kill it all sorts of ways. But I'm just hoping to get rid of some of my opponent's board and make this game go a while. We can pretty effectively block his flyers, so we have that going for us. And this Penumbra Spider is delightfully annoying, so that our opponent, even if they kill it once, I can use it to block again. You have a third Agony Warp. My God. That is the number of Agony Warps we've seen. 3. That shouldn't happen. We're going to hold on to Boros Signet and bluff. Yeah, it's just such a good card. Like, blue-black, well, he's going to get our Rakdos Signet. Doesn't hurt too much. Blue-black, I don't think a lot of people think is super strong, and I kind of agree, but when you can get 3 Agony Warps, I mean, oh, he's going to get his Seagate Oracle. Darn it. I would have much rather you went after my hand there. Well, we can flash back our own Lingering Souls now, which will just gain our opponent some life, but hey, let's do it anyway. Both our signets. Harmonize would be great. Ooh, this doesn't look good. Oh, it's just a slave driver. I mean, it's not great, but it doesn't mean I'm dead soon. Okay, Eyes in the Skies is okay and all, but I'm just going to play this Signet and hold on to Eyes in the Skies. I almost, if the slave driver attacks, I think I'm going to block it with Penumbra Spider and 2 goblins, because then I can use Eyes in the Skies to get a 2/4 with reach. That just seems better right now. Yeah. Assuming he kills my spider. He may choose not to, I guess. Nope, going for the spider. Good. And he gets a zombie, of course. It's just, this game's going to go on for a while. And my opponent has advantage in time, so that may not bode well for me. Yep. You go to 21. Oh, I'm going to make you go even higher on life. Ah, oh, Pit Keeper. Jeez, this game is silly. He's going to get back his slave driver. Still doing something else, huh? Oh yeah, Seagate Oracle. Well, if they get enough triggers, maybe I'll actually get ahead in time. Okay, so Eyes in the Skies. Ooh, that is actually a card that is relevant right now. I'm going to play Tattermunge Witch. So, how much can I pump my guys right now? Just not enough, really. The trample is pretty important, but My opponent's at 26, so it's not exactly going to blow the doors off or anything at this point. It could in the later part of the game if we can go even wider. I don't imagine we're going to go a whole lot wider, though. So I'm going to pass the turn for now. We can wait till we have more mana available to just pump my whole team. But my opponent being at 26 makes it a lot harder. Yeah, Grix is slow. No, opportunity, no. Where's our harmonize? Opportunity is bad. That is bad news. Another Soul Warden, too? Great. I love losing to Soul Warden. I mean, what's the worst case if I attack with everything? I mean, I basically kill my opponent's entire board. Yeah, I'm attacking with everything. We can't let this nonsense go on much longer. Tattermunge Witch will help me here. I will also lose most of my board, and my opponent has 4 cards in their hand, so that's not so good for us. But, you know. These spiders might still be alive, because my opponent would have to do a lot of work to kill them. My opponent could also just choose not to block. Oh, that was stupid. Why did I do that? Should not have attacked with my Tattermunge Witch. Should have attacked with everything else. Oh, that's bad. Very, very bad. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage. Yeah, that was bad. We might have had a real chance there if I hadn't screwed that up. Dropping our opponent to 10 is nice, but not really enough when they have 2 Soul Wardens in play. Why did I attack with that Tattermunge Witch? Oh, Grix a slave driver. I was going to be pretty surprised if our opponent attacked with... Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm sorry I ruined this game. Tattermunge Witch. Ground Assault. Yeah. Does that actually accomplish something? I can kill 1 spirit, and I have 5 of my own flyers. So my opponent can still gain tons of life. Oh, probably should kill that before I kill that. Yeah, let's kill a Soul Warden. Sadly. That's what we're reduced to here after my Tattermunge Witch punt. Play Deathhood Cobra. Yeah, this deck really needed other ways to go wide. Like, oh man, they would be so good right now. Like if we had the Gruul War Chant, our board would just destroy our opponent. And the Intangible Virtue that I passed like a moron would have just destroyed our opponent. We're just going to take 4 here. If you had Intangible Virtue, would have been so good. This draft went south in a number of ways that were of my own making, but we're still playing for prizes somehow, reducing the number of lands in our deck in the meantime. Yeah, we're just done with our turn. Gonna have to do something about that slave driver one of these days. But for now, I'm just gonna take it. Okay. Who gets milled first? It's our opponent, actually. I'm going to block this Slave Driver with the Sylvan Ranger now. Boom. Blocked. Wow. And let's mill our opponent out. We can do it. They cast that opportunity, and that's going to make them mill up first before we do. It's like our only hope of winning, I think. God, if I'd attacked with everything but my Tattermunge Witch, that turn would have been so much better. So much better. But I attacked with her. I just have too much fun turning all my cards sideways. Yep. Come on over, Slave Driver. I will block you with a Sylvan Ranger. Oh, okay. You're getting a little more active now. No, you're not. My spiders are holding down the fort here. I'm going to block with another Sylvan Ranger. There's Harmonize. So I can cast it and my opponent still mills out before I do. So that's what we are going to do. Double Chandra's Outrage, you say? Well, that makes things kind of interesting. I'm going to pass our turn for now. That definitely gives us more of a chance to get our opponent to mill out before we do. Because we can slow down these attacks. Okay, we're just going to Chandra's Outrage. Play a Guild Gate. Opponent no longer has an especially good attacker, and they have 6 cards left in their library, and we still have a removal spell. Okay, well, we do not want to be fetching with that Scalding Tarn. Just to be safe. So if our opponent decides to draw cards with like Tandem Lookout, I think I'm all for it. Slave Driver comes back. Okay, Goblin. Thank you for blocking. And there's Magma Jet to further allow us to make our opponent mill out. I think we have a very good chance to win this game by making our opponent mill out. Which is hilarious and kind of a sad way to win, but I will take it. Okay, I'm going to wait to use, well, don't take that. I'm going to wait to use these burn spells until like I have to use them to stay alive when my opponent realizes they're about to be milled to death. Okay, what's happening? Oh, Grizzly Spectacle. No, now we get milled first. Well done, opponent. Oh, what just happened there? We thought we were going to win by milling, and our opponent milled us out. Oh, that's brutal. That's Grizzly Spectacle. We knew they had it. I should have remembered. Well, that was kind of an epic game, even though we lost in the end. Compulsive Research. Oh, God. Discard our Scalding Tarn. That's sad. All right. Well, you know, it was fun. Our deck was fun. Can't believe we ended up getting milled out there when we were going with the mill plan, but, you know, sometimes that happens. So see you guys. I'll probably have time to do one more of these, I think, on the Aether Hub, as well as another one on my own channel. So keep your eyes open for those. Don't forget to subscribe to the Aether Hub for more of my content and more content from other great content creators here on the Hub as well. Thanks for watching.